Nate says, they say Bitcoin is slow, but that took one confirmation at 10 minutes. Days for banks. Yep. Not only is it going to be much cheaper, and that's a great point from Nate as well. Not only is it going to be much cheaper to send a Bitcoin layer 1 transaction than versus a bank wire, but it's also much faster. If you ever sent a bank wire before, you have to call the bank, you have to give them the wire info, they have to process it, it has to arrive at the other bank, and sometimes it can be 4 hours, sometimes it can be 4 days. With a Bitcoin transaction, as Nate says here, if you set the priority high enough and you pay enough of a fee, it's 10 minutes till that whole thing is done. And once that block is mined, your transaction is going to be within that block. And that block, the new updated ledger, the blockchain, is going to be broadcast out to every single person in the world running a Bitcoin node. And so every person running a node is going to have a copy, an updated copy of the blockchain. And so there's absolutely no way for you to ever reverse that or change that transaction. And to me, that's that's kind of what you use a bank wire for, because there's no way to reverse it. There's no chargebacks there. There's no risk of the receiver or the sender of that money going back on their word. So for houses, for house purchases, for large settlements, Bitcoin layer 1 is going to be very useful for us in the future. And it already is. It's just that most people obviously don't really need that for the most part, or aren't aware of it. So let's check out the last part here. I don't know why this is so big. Somebody with bad eyes must have been using my computer. So this is a video from Bitcoin News as well. This is going to be the last piece of news for the morning. And another great point. So we got, that's why I love the chat. This is why I love this live show, is because it's hard to say things live on the internet, but when you have a very knowledgeable chat that's interactive, everything kind of comes together for you. So you got the fees. It's cheap if you do it right. It's very fast. You don't have to wait days for it to confirm. And you don't need anybody's permission for it. You don't need to call the bank. You can do it without anybody's permission. So that's kind of the trifecta of the Bitcoin layer 1.